Let's get into it. It seems like such a simple question, right? But it actually sends us down this incredible rabbit hole of mysteries that even the top scientists on the planet are still trying to figure out. So today, we're going to explore 10 of the darkest, most baffling secrets of the human brain.
And we're going to start with something you've probably already done today. Something so common, but so weird that we still don't really know why we do it.
Okay, this is wild. It seems to be tied to empathy. You're actually more likely to catch a yawn from people you're close to, like friends and family. Scientists think it has something to do with our mirror neuron system. You know, the part of the brain that fires up both when we do something and when we see someone else do it. But the exact little switch in our brain that makes a yawn contagious? Total mystery. All right, so from an experience we can share, let's go to one that's deeply, deeply personal. Next up, we're looking at how the brain can create these incredibly vivid feelings out of, well, literally nothing.
Can you imagine feeling an itch on a hand that you don't have anymore? It happens because our brain has this kind of internal map of our body. And sometimes, after an amputation, it just refuses to update the map. So the big question is, how on earth can the brain create such a real, physical feeling for something that just isn't there?
Coming in at number 8 is something we all spend about a third of our entire lives doing, and we still barely understand it.
I mean, just think about it from an evolutionary perspective for a second. For our ancient ancestors, being completely knocked out and unconscious for 8 hours a night was incredibly dangerous. So why would we evolve to take such a huge risk? We know sleep helps us learn and heal, sure. But the fundamental reason we have to completely shut down our consciousness to do it, that's still one of biology's biggest unanswered questions.
Now for a secret that isn't just in your head. Oh no, this is a deep connection that runs right through the very core of your body.
You ever had a gut feeling about something? Well, that's not just a cute phrase. Your digestive system is lined with millions and millions of neurons. So many, in fact, that scientists sometimes call it our second brain. There's a constant two-way conversation happening between your gut and your brain. But how exactly do the bacteria in your gut manage to influence your thoughts and your emotions? We're still trying to decode that conversation.
From a second brain in our gut, let's turn to the most powerful pharmacy in the entire world. And it's the one that operates completely inside your own mind.
And this isn't just all in your head. You can give a patient a sugar pill, tell them it's a powerful painkiller, and their brain can actually be triggered to release its own natural pain-relieving chemicals. The mystery isn't that it works. We know it does. But how? How can a simple belief unlock the brain's power to physically heal the body?
We're halfway through our list of secrets, and now it's time to enter the bizarre, surreal theater that your brain produces for you every single night.
So why do we dream? Is the brain just cleaning up the junk files from the day? Or maybe it's a virtual reality simulator, letting us practice for dangerous situations. Or is it processing our emotions? You'll find dozens of theories, but not one single scientific consensus. The true purpose of these nightly stories is still a secret our brain keeps to itself. Let's talk about something that pretty much defines who you are: your memories. Now, remembering something feels simple enough, but the mechanics behind it are anything but. Think about your first kiss, or the smell of your childhood home. Where are those memories? They're not like little files stored in a single neuron. No, they're these vast, interconnected networks spread all across the brain. But how the brain physically encodes a piece of information and then just pulls it up on demand, that is still a massive scientific frontier. And that leads us to one of the brain's most hopeful and at the same time most mysterious abilities: its power to change itself. Every single time you learn a new skill, whether it's an instrument or a language, you are physically rewiring your brain. It's how our brains can recover from injury or adapt to completely new situations. But what are the limits here? How much can we really intentionally change our own personalities, our habits, even our intelligence? We are just barely scratching the surface of what's possible. We're getting close to the end now, and this next secret is a pretty shocking fact about the raw energy it takes for you to even think about these things.
Your brain is a serious energy hog. It is, by far, the most metabolically expensive organ you have. But here's the real mystery. It uses that enormous amount of power even when you're just resting, not actively thinking about anything. So what is it doing with all that energy? What background processes are running that demand so much fuel?
And now, we've arrived. The number one secret. The final,
the deepest, the most profound mystery of the human brain, the one that everything else is built on top of.
It has a name that honestly perfectly captures how incredibly difficult it is for scientists and philosophers to crack. They call it the hard problem.
See, we can map all the electrical signals, we can track the chemical reactions, we can see exactly which parts of the brain light up when you feel love or see the color blue, but what we have absolutely no explanation for is how all those physical processes create the private, internal, subjective experience of being you.
Why doesn't all of this just happen in the dark, without an inner world? How does a bunch of inert matter create the richness of a feeling, of an experience? This is the ultimate secret the brain keeps from us. So, from a simple yawn all the way to the nature of reality itself, the brain is really just a universe packed with questions. It makes you wonder, what else is going on in there that we don't even know enough to ask about yet? What do you think is the brain's biggest mystery? Let us know.